Welcome back to Addicted Gaming. Today we have a special segment for you guys, underrated quarterbacks that you need to use in college football 26. We're going to go ahead and start things off with the main man himself, Marcel Reed, sophomore quarterback at Texas A&M. Now look, Marcel is coming into his own. This is going to be his first real season as the guy. 1,864 passing yards in the air last season, 15 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. But that's not really the real kicker. He had a 61% completion rated with 547 rushing yards and 7 touchdowns. Over 2,000 yards total with 22 touchdowns. Now look, he is a scrambler. He does have an arm, as you guys can see here in the clips. As far as the game, these guys are going to get an overall boosting, I personally believe. But right now, he is an 83 overall in the game with 88 speed, 90 throw power, and his accuracies are all in the upper 80s. So, whether you're using Reed as Texas A&M or you, for some reason, find him in a portal, he is definitely a guy that you want to go ahead and get. Like I said, he is a sophomore. You will have a couple of seasons with him to be able to build around, whether that's you using Texas A&M right off of the bat or for some strange reason catching him in the transfer portal. He's definitely a guy you want to go ahead and target. Again, you can build a whole bunch of things around him. Really isn't extreme dependent, scheme dependent. You can do a whole bunch of things in him, whether that's, an air raid scheme, some sort of pistol form. Even if you're one of those guys that want to go ahead and run out with the triple option, he's definitely the guy for you. Moving on to our next quarterback, Byron Brown, quarterback of the University of South Florida Bulls, 6'3", 229. Now, Byron stands at an 83 overall, currently 87 speed. He is more of your scrambler archetype, but he does have the ability to, pass the ball as well. He has pretty good accuracy as well, so do not go ahead and write him off as just simply a scrambler. He does come with 93 throw power currently, 89 short accuracy, 85 medium, and 84 deep. So he is a guy that can pass the ball. He isn't going to be handicapped by a scheme that you guys have. Really, he can fit in any system. Now, Byron is going to be a guy that's underrated because he didn't play a full season last year, only played in a couple of games, did have to sit out with an injury, right? But the year before, he was on top of the world, 3,292 passing yards, 26 touchdowns, 11 interceptions to go along with 809 yards on the ground and another 11 touchdowns on the ground. The guy is shifty. The guy is mobile. He can make any throw. He does have the throw power, like I said. Now, again, he is going to be a junior, so you will not have a lot of time with him. So whether you want to take on that USF rebuild, of course, you have South Florida to be able to recruit from. You really should have no issues with pairing Byron Brown with a whole bunch of speed demons that reside right there in Florida. Really, the whole recruiting game is your oyster. You should have no issues with that. Or whether you want to redshirt him for whatever reason and get him for another year, or go ahead and let him be the man, you should have no issues while you go ahead and build up USF. Like I said, this guy popped off in the 23 season. He did have an unfortunate injury. Had a pretty good game right there against Alabama. Really was his coming out game. A whole bunch of people were able to see him on the national stage. But Brown is a baller. Like I said, he is not a smaller guy. 6'3", 225 pounds. Whatever you need him to do, whether it's a spread option, veer and shoot, or an air raid, or more pro-style system, I believe that he can get it done for you. Again, if you see him in the transfer portal, you definitely want to go ahead and put a whole bunch of points on him and go ahead and lock him up. Next up, we have Micah Alejado from Hawaii. Now, bear with me. Micah does not have a whole bunch of stats. He is not a crazy overall in the game. He is only a 71 overall sophomore, played as a freshman last season. But I personally believe that he's going to shoot up. He only played in 2 games. His first game, which he came in mop-up duty, he went 11 for 12 for 111 yards versus Utah State with 1 touchdown, 70% completion. But his first start came at the end of the season where he went for 585 passing yards, 6 touchdowns versus New Mexico State. This guy is the next great quarterback out of Hawaii. I'm telling you now, he has 87 speed. Right now, 85 throwing power. His accuracy are in the low 80s. But again, I do believe he is going to get a boost based off of his last game. If you see him, you want to take him now. Going next up in list, TCU, Josh Hoover. This guy potentially is going to be in this upcoming NFL draft. I believe he's going to be that second or third round level guy. Josh Hoover, 84 overall, is a junior. You will not have a whole bunch of time to work with him. 3,949 passing yards last season, 27 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. Does play in the air raid style system there at TCU. Led those guys to a winning season and a bowl win. 66% completion rating. He is more of a field general type. He's going to be the first field general type that we have on here. Throw power is 91. I do expect that to bump up. His accuracies are all in the low 90s. This is your field general guy. This is your pro style guy. This is your air raid guy. He does not have a whole bunch of wiggle out of the pocket. He is only at 75 speed, so that is a little bit of limitation for him. But I'm telling you now, this guy is the guy to be able to use. If you see him in the portal, you definitely want to snatch him up. Put a whole bunch of points on him. Make sure you lock him up. Of course, if you want to go ahead and take on that rebuild at TCU, you're definitely welcome to do so. You're right there in Texas. You have Oklahoma. You have Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, as well as your recruiting areas. You can go ahead and rack up those tiers and go ahead and dominate with TCU, a program that is on the rise, but you know they aren't where they were. You can go ahead and build those guys back to the prominence, back to the levels that they once were. They did have a national championship appearance not too long ago. But I'm telling you right now, Josh Hoover is the guy. Again, do expect him to ball out, and even if he has a sliver of the season he had this year, he will be off and doing his thing in the National Football League as well. Pairing him with Eric McAllister, receiver, at TCU, you should have no issue scoring points and putting up a bunch of them quickly for TCU. Again, I want to take time to stop. Thank you guys for coming on to the channel. If you like this content that you're getting, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Be sure to like, share with your friends. I will be creating another video of the top 5 underrated receivers that you would want to use in the game this upcoming season, or guys that you may want to snag in the portal as well. Right, so make sure you be on the lookout for that. But please like, share, subscribe. What we're doing here is a great thing. We want to be able to shed light on prospects and teams that may be under the radar, and then of course we're going to give you guys amazing gameplay. Moving on to our next quarterback, Mr. Dan Pierre. Now Dan Pierre is going to go ahead and be more of that scrambling type. Eric Dampier, more of your scrambler type. Anybody out there that wants to run the spread option, that wants to run any triple option, anything of that sort, Dampier is your guy. 79 overall. Now, he is going to be playing for the Utah Utes this upcoming season. He will not be at New Mexico. So I do expect for him to get a overall boost with him jumping up to that level. Over there, 2,768 passing yards. Nothing to write home about. Yes, 12 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Only a 57% completion rating, I know. But here's the kicker. He had 1,166 yards on the ground with 19 rushing touchdowns. That bumps his total over to 3,934 yards with 31 touchdowns. That changes his whole outlook, right? Now, again, he is not going to be a guy that you want to sit back there in the pocket and try to dice up defenses with. If that's something you want to do, then you need to look for another guy. But any of my guys that want to utilize some sort of spread option, even the veer and shoot, anything where you want to get this quarterback out of structure, get the guy out of pocket, then Dampier is your guy. He can make all of those throws. He does not have amazing deep accuracy. Again, know the limitations of your quarterback. If this is a guy that you catch in the portal again, you definitely want to run, don't walk, and lock him up. He can be a backup. Now, again, he is a junior. You will not have a whole bunch of time with him, but he can be the guy for you right away while you go ahead and build. Of course, with Utah, you have the whole greater California to be able to recruit. You have Nevada. You have Texas as well. You have Hawaii. You have Washington to be able to go ahead and recruit and build around Eric Dampier. Now, keep in mind, he is definitely a guy that you can build around. He's not a field general by any stretch. He's not an improviser. He is simply a scrambler, as you guys can see here in his film. He does have the ability to make some short to intermediate throws accurately. But again, he is a guy you want to use on the ground. Thank you guys for tuning in. Catch you guys on the next episode.